Welcome back. I am so excited about this lesson. In particular, if you're new to guitar and you're just starting to put some chords together and putting some songs together, this is going to be a great lesson for you. But I think everybody can get a little something out of it. If you are just getting going with guitar, you're probably spending a lot of time in this area because you're playing these open chords, and every time you learn a new chord, your fingers are making a completely different shape. Which means that if you want to learn 3 chords, you have to learn 3 different shapes. Well, what if there was one shape where you can play every chord with one shape? That's pretty powerful, right? Matter of fact, these are called power chords, and they're powerful for many different reasons. The way it works is like this. You take your pointer finger and you go to your 6th string. You can put it on any fret you want. It doesn't matter, but for the sake of this particular lesson, let's go to the 5th fret. So we go up to the 5th fret, we lock our pointer finger on that 6th string on the 5th fret. Now take your ring finger, which is your number 3 finger, go to the next string, 5th string, which is A, and go to the 7th fret. Now you'll notice that there's a fret in between them. Make a mental note of that, because that'll help you get this shape under your fingers a lot faster. Always put one complete fret in between the 2 fingers. In other words, if I was going to change this chord, instead of doing 5 and 7, I would just slide it. Imagine like a train on railroad tracks, just sliding down. I can go to 3rd fret and 5th. Or I could slide it up the tracks here. I can go to 7th fret and 9th fret. But the idea is that the shape never changes. It's just sliding up and down these railroad tracks. Now you take your pick and you play only those 2 strings, because this chord only has 2 notes in it, but it's movable. So you can get something like this. So with one shape, I was able to play something very musical very quickly. You can get up and running with this today, playing lots and lots of cool songs. What you could do to take it to the next level now is take this same exact shape. Let's go back to 5 and 7. Again, 6th string and 5th string. So you got this diagonal, but with a fret in between. But let's take the whole entire chord and drop it one set of strings towards the floor. So now my pointer finger goes to the 5th string, and my ring finger goes to the 4th string. The shape is exactly the same, and I have that fret in between. So nothing really changed other than a set of strings down. Take your pick. Your pick is going to play those 2 strings. Your pick follows your fingers. So now I got it all set up on my right hand. I got it all set up on my left hand. I put those 2 notes together. And just like the other set of notes that we played on the 6th and 5th string, well, this is the same. So it's movable, like a train on tracks. Here's my tracks down here, and I can move it. Matter of fact, I can also go back to the original chord, which was here, and combine it all together. And I could do all sorts of amazing combinations, so you might get something like this. Two fingers, 2 notes, 2 frets, and you are off and running. Okay, it's not going to take you long to get there. You're going to get that little practice, little time. Now let's go to the next level, level 3 of this. My pointer finger is called my root note. Think of it as like your boss or your leader. This is your finger that's you're leading everything that's going on. Whatever note I'm touching, that's the name of that chord. So if I go back to the 6th string 5th fret, that note is called A. This is called an A note. So if I build my power chord there, I'm playing an A power chord. If I drop it down to 3rd fret, that note is called G. Well, now I'm playing a G power chord. If I bring everybody down a set of strings, so now this is on the 5th string 3rd fret, that note is C. And I build my chord there, now I'll have a C power chord. So if you had a chord progression that did, let's say, G, C, and D, I don't have to learn G, C, and D, I could just play the power chords. It's that easy. It's that quick. Okay, one more step before we close this video out. If this is my root note, and whatever note that touches, I get that power chord. Okay, so like this is a G, so I'm getting a G power chord. If I move it to the second fret, now I'll have a G flat. If I move it down again, I'll have an F because my first finger's touching F. But watch what happens when I move it down one more time. See that? My pointer finger is off the board completely. It's touching what I would call the open note, or you might think of it as the 0 fret, but it's still the chord. Now, at this point, my pointer finger is more symbolic. It's not actually pushing anything, but it is touching the open E string, the 0 fret. So this would be an E power chord. But because my finger's not actually pushing anything, it's more symbolic. We typically would rearrange our hand. We're not changing the notes, but we would rearrange it where the pointer finger, which is doing really nothing now, replaces this ring finger. So you get this. So now one finger is playing the power chord. You have the open E, that's your root note, and then you have its accompaniment here, its harmony note here, and you have an E power chord. That's a very low, deep, cool power chord. Now, if I wanted to move on, I have to put my pointer finger back in. So let's say I'm going to go now to the 3rd fret, and then I'll move it to the 5th fret to give you 3 chords in a row, so you get this. Yeah, right? Now, if that's true for the open E, it's got to be true for the open A, which is your 5th string. So this is a C, so C power chord. Move it backwards, I get a B power chord. Pointer finger touches a B flat on the 1st fret. If I go down one more time, I'm off the board. I'm hitting my open A. So, again, symbolic. I replace it. So now I have the open A still. I still have it. But I only have to do this with one finger now. And I could just play the same type of chord progression I played before. And there you go. That is a very quick but easy introduction to power chords. Have fun with it. Just like and subscribe. I'll talk to you later.